First question. Sukisa Paradvaya Saibaya Satya Kama Saryayani Gargya Kasalya Kausalya Asfalayana Bhargava Vaidarbhi and Kabandhi Katyayana were students filled with devotion for Brahman, the supreme spirit. Their minds rested on Brahman, and they were in search of the highest Brahman. Once they said, the holy Pippalada can explain all the sacred teaching, and thus thinking they approached him, bringing as a sign of reverence fuel for the sacred fire. The sage said to them, remain another year in steadiness, purity, and faith. Ask then anything you desire, and if I know, I will tell you all. When the time came, Kabandhi Katyayana approached the sage and said, Master, whence came all created beings? The sage replied, in the beginning the Creator longed for the joy of creation. He remained in meditation, and then came Rai, matter, and prana, life. These two thought he will produce beings for me. The sun is life, and the moon is matter. All that has form, solid or subtle, is matter. Therefore form is matter. When the rising morning sun enters the eastern skies, then he bathes in his light, and all that is in the east, and then the south and the west and the north, and all the sky are illumined by that light that gives life to all that lives. Thus rises the sun as fire, as life, in its infinite variety. It was said in a verse of the Rig Veda, the sun is rising in golden radiance, the sun of 1,000 rays in 100 regions abiding, the God omniscient, the aim of all prayers, the light, and fire supreme, the infinite life of all beings, the Lord of creation, is in truth the time of the year. This has two paths, the way of the south and the way of the north. Those who worship thinking, we have done sacrifice and pious works, attain only the regions of the moon, and return to life and death. That is why those sages who desire children in the life of the family follow the path of the south. This is the path that leads to the ancestors. But those who, in search of the inner spirit, follow the spiritual path of the north with steadiness, purity, faith, and wisdom, attain the regions of the sun. And there is the ocean of life, the refuge supreme, the land of immortality, where there is no fear. From there they do not return again. It is the end of the journey. There is a verse of the Rig Veda that says, some speak of a father who sends rains from the heaven of the north, resting on the seasons and showing himself in 12 ways. Others speak of a sage in the heaven of the south with a chariot of 7 wheels and 6 spokes. The day and night of the Lord of creation, day is life, and night is matter. Those who join in love by day waste life, but they follow the good path. Those who join in love by night. The dark fortnight is indeed matter, and the bright fortnight is life. Some sages perform the rituals in the bright fortnight, but some in the time of darkness. Food is in truth the Lord of creation. From food seed is produced, and from this beings are born. Those who obey the law of the Lord of creation, they in turn become creators, and like him produce a pair. They attain the pale regions of the moon. But those in whom there is no deceit, untruth, or bad faith, who live in steadiness, purity, and truth. Theirs are the radiant regions of the sun. Second question. Then Bhargava Vai Darby asked, Master, what are the powers that keep the union of a being? How many keep burning the lamps of life, and which amongst them is supreme? The sage replied, the powers are space, air, fire, water, and earth, and voice, mind, the eye, and the ear. These powers light the lamps of life and say, we keep the union of this being and we are its foundation, but life, the power supreme, said to them, do not fall into delusion. It is I who in my fivefold vision keep the union of this being, and I am its foundation. But they believed him not. Life was offended and rose aloft to leave the body, and all the powers of life had to rise, and life coming again to rest, all the powers had to rest, as when a queen bee arises, all the bees with her arise, and when she comes to rest again, then all again comes to rest. Even so it happened to the powers of the voice, the mind, the eye, and the ear. The powers then understood and sang in joy this song of life. Life is the fire that burns and is the sun that gives light. Life is the wind and the rain and the thunder in the sky. Life is the matter and is earth, what is and what is not. And what is beyond is an eternity. On life all things are resting, as spokes in the center of a wheel. On life are resting the Vedas and prayers, and warriors and priests. To thee resting with thy prayers, O life, all beings offer adoration. As Lord of creation thou movest in the womb of the mother, thence to be reborn. Thou art the chief bearer of gifts to the gods, the first offering made to the departed. Thou art the poetry of the seers, the truth of ancient sages. Thou art Rudra, the god of protection. Thou art Indra in thy radiance, O life. As the sun that wanders in heaven, thou art Lord of all heavenly lights. When the rain pours down from heaven, O life, all thy creatures rejoice, and they say, food for us shall be in abundance. Thou art pure, O life, supreme seer, Lord, and consumer of all. Be the givers of what thou enjoyest, thou our Father, the breath of all life. Be favorable unto us, O life, with that invisible form of thine which is in the voice, the eye, and the ear, and which lives in the mind. Go not from us. In thy power is all this world, and even the third most sacred heaven. As a mother, her child, protect us, O life. Give us glory and give us wisdom.